the scat man.
Oh hey there, it's me, Staria. It's February and you know what that means.
You know, I wish it was February, but I guess not.
I'm on a budget. February is what's most considered a time for things like Valentine's Day. I consider it the time of month where I spend my month's rent as fast as I can on things besides my rent. So why not start off with an online wheel that tells me what to buy? I could work with that. Let's spin the wheel again. Damn it. Hey guys, it's me, your favorite tax evader. Running from the internet is what I can only consider a Roblox game on the most highly crafted amount of cocaine, with enough energy to be the equivalent of straight up whiplash if you're only used to the slowness of evade or work at a pizza place. Except I'm super good at the game, like check out my skills bro, you really don't want to test me. Developed by Windows XP System 32, RFTI is a 3D action platform based off the Gmod Nextbots game mode, but with the twist being is that you can beat the ever-living shit out of the Nextbots instead of hiding like a pussy, knowing fully well your location isn't safe whatsoever. Get over here! Anyways, we start off with Neon Splatoon 3, and we have the choice to just jump straight into the middle of a round. Or, you know, we could just check the shop and buy microtransactions and emotes like normal people. Oh boys, I wonder if they have the gritty in this game. Oh, they don't.
You know, this would have been funnier if I knew before that they do a limited time event with the gritty mode.
Let's just actually get to the game. I must say, the movement is honestly really fun. I personally enjoy it when I run straight into a landmine and test my chances of getting disintegrated like Yoshikage Kira's victims. Though this doesn't mean the game doesn't have its flaws, there are many nitpicks I'd like to point out, but don't overall ruin my time playing the game. So here's my small list on small imperfections that honestly bother me way more than it should. There's no B-hop, and the closest thing I have to a B-hop is a slide jump. The fact that the bots aren't really that smart, and they sometimes just stand there even without a doll being around, or walk around aimlessly, allowing you to keep attacking them, really gives no challenge to the players whatsoever, especially in players versus bots. The lack of map variety really gets somewhat boring after a while, but it doesn't really ruin the experience that much. These invisible walls blocking me from jumping into the ocean. The item shop still doesn't have the gritty. And that's everything. Of course, most things were jokes, but few were actually genuine nitpicks that I had about the games. But what about the weapons? No worries though, since the weapons are great, but also don't exclude them from their downsides. When I tell you these weapons are simple but chaotic, I really mean it. These are honestly the most simple bare bones items. One of them is literally just a toilet, and yet it's one of my favorite items in the entire game. Let's go down the list, shall we? And by down the list, I mean the ones that I would actually have to give an explanation for, because some of these are the most self-explanatory basic items. Just look at them. The Speed Cola is pretty much your average temporary speed boost buff, so you can just run away from the IRS faster. The Super Ball. No, this isn't a dodgeball, this is actually a dodgeball times 7, as this thing not only will bounce everywhere, but it will also hit other players and yourself. So you know what that means. Double the blunt force, double the trauma! The toilet. What do I even say here? This is literally just a toilet, but not only that, it's literally a waste of money because it's actually just the crate, but a skin. But it looks like a toilet. I love it. Speaking of the crate, when thrown, the crate will give off a small explosion when it hits something, but if it hits your enemies, they'll get launched farther than I can punt your average school bully. The spear is up next, and it's honestly pretty useless if you don't have more than one item box around you, because it's more of a defense weapon used to help yourself get away from players and bots chasing you.
Oh god, it's an FNF modder. I don't want to work on the FNF.
The most useful way to use the spear is to knock players down for a split second, so you can either jump them with your homies or just run away. The airstrike. Well, if you couldn't tell it, as you can see, it's pretty explodey. What do I say? It pinpoints a missile to your nearest Burger King. What? Is that what you want? The Rage Potion is up next, and what can I say? This is literally a can of angry air, but now in the form of hydrogen.
Hello, it is Hysteria. I don't recall as to why I chose the word hydrogen, but I don't care anymore. I need to get this video finished, so shut up.
This make you more mad than a Twitter user raging at you for making an actually funny joke? If it wasn't self-explanatory already, let me dumb it down down for you basement dwellers. Drinking liquid angry air is like when Deku kicked the shit out of Overhaul. Next up is the guitar, which is my favorite weapon in the entire game, as it's meant to leave a massive shockwave once you hit a sick riff. And what I like but don't like about it is that you don't get knocked down when you start using the item, as nothing can actually knock you down. But the downside is the chances of you actually landing the attack are if you're far away but nobody's attacking you, or if you're at full health and you're in a crowd of neck spots that are like jumbled up around a doll. The hammer is up next, and I don't own it. But it essentially lets you spin attack in one direction once charged up, / cram debut up in this bitch. And now the plane. I also don't have it. I don't have any Roblox. You just crash your plane into other people. What do you want from me? And for the other items that I didn't explain, if you really wanted an explanation of them, just here, put...
Don't go anywhere, folks. Staria will return after this short commercial break.
I'm really hoping Roblox will learn from this huge mistake.
Hey, how's about that wheel we haven't spun yet? Yes! No! I genuinely like the game modes in the RFTI. They're really fun, and they're one of the most basic ones for most games that have game modes, but it does lack in the fact that they're really only 4, containing free-for-all, player versus player, player versus bots, and King of the Hill, with a twist of these rounds having an elimination mode where once you die, you don't respawn. Now these aren't bad per se, but I do feel like there could be some more game modes added. I have some of my own ideas actually. Oh, so now we have a purpose for the pin board. Now for starters, I'd like to recommend some game modes, which include but are not limited to a zombie infection game mode, a red versus blue game mode with both having an elimination round. Another idea I had, which is somewhat like King of the Hill, is actually a capture the flag game mode, where instead of going to one point to another to bring a flag back like the actual capture the flag, I was thinking more of a flag that hangs on top of a specific player, and whoever has the flag the longest wins the game. Another idea I had was more maps, since the game really only consists of Pitfalls, Recoil, Prototyped, and Stronghold, also Winter Workshop, which are all great and they're all well designed, but it all feels as if there should be more. I was thinking, why not a few maps from previous classic Roblox games, or something from other genres of the internet, since the title of the game is running from the internet, but the only real internet related thing towards the game is the fact that you're running away from Gmod neck spots. Again, this is just a recommendation, but I feel like they should do it just so they can actually get the concept of running from the internet, about having things from the internet, especially mainly old Roblox stuff, put into the game. I'm only doing it like this because I want to stop stuttering. Oh no! For weapons, I'd like a variation of the hammer that doesn't require Robux, but also doesn't function exactly the same like the hammer, since it would just be a skin like the toilet or the crate. Instead, I'm thinking more of a sword that does significantly less damage, but makes you run swinging your sword like crazy. Next up is a nuke item that has a 1 in 1000% chance of showing up in a round, and can only be used once by one player per round. Another weapon that I'd like to introduce to the game would be some ice cream that slows down players and Xbots when thrown, but when you get hit with it, you get a little ice vignette around your screen. Finally, adding bosses to the game or implementing an impossible mode where the next bots can insta-kill you and are faster, but the match only has a 20% chance of happening. Finally, some honorable suggestions, which I mainly just have for game improvements. I'd like it if you'd have a better chance at getting weapons than health items. Remove the color effect that always shows up when next bots are around, or at least make it a toggle feature where you don't have to actually deal with the grayscale effect. Implement a chaos mode, like how Super Bomb Survival has it, where it's just always the hardest difficulty. I know the game itself doesn't have a difficulty slider, but I would like it if there actually were difficulty options to the game. Improve the next bot behavior, because they feel dumb most of the time, and I also feel like removing the fact that they get knocked down and you can just keep attacking them, even if it's for a short amount of time, would help a lot with like the behavior of the next bots. Make it so like they just don't get knocked down. You can keep hitting them, but they'll still keep chasing you. And if you're not gonna go with that, then you could probably just implement that into the chaos mode that I recommended. Maybe? Despite my lack of criticism, I don't exactly see running from the internet as a bad game. Even though yes, there are many problems with bugs and whatnot, I can't really discuss them here, as ever since the new bug fix update, the only glitch I ever encountered, which was already fixed by the time this video was finished. If the devs are watching this or you're a mod that stumbled upon this video through the Discord server, let them know if they wanted to use any of the ideas that I presented to them. They're free to use as long as I receive the compensation of adding this little sticker when you buy a specific item in the shop that I recommended. You don't actually have to do that. I'm pretty sure people have recommended these ideas before anyways, so it's like, just go ahead. I'll be leaving now. Oh, you still got a couple of dollars left. Huh. Let's spin the wheel one more time. Jesus. I'm broke! Hey there, if you enjoyed this video, then why not leave a subscribe or at least give a comment on what you thought about it. I'm talking fast because this outro is actually pretty short, so yeah, if I get cut off, then that's not my fault. It's your fault, it's your fault. I hate you, I hate!
Hey, no, he's not.